Welcome back, strangers. The 11th installment in the Halloween series comes out this weekend, and it's not a reboot. It's a direct sequel to the original Halloween film by my favorite horror director, John Carpenter. The new film is directed by David Gordon Green, but Carpenter was involved in the creative process as a composer, executive producer, and consultant. To prepare for Laurie's final confrontation with Michael Myers, we're going to discuss the strangest trivia from the film that started it all. The script didn't specify what kind of mask Michael Myers wore. It only described it as having the pale features of a man. The crew tested two different masks for the killer. One was a Weary Willie smiling clown mask, which was intended to be an homage to how Myers killed his sister in a clown costume. According to the crew, it was super creepy if you were scared of clowns. The second was a $2 Star Trek mask of William Shatner's character, Captain James T. Kirk. It was the cheapest mask the crew could find at the costume store. The crew spray painted the hair on it brown and ripped off the eyebrows and sideburns. They painted the face of the mask white and reshaped the eye holes for the eerie blank stare, which led them to choose the mask for Myers. William Shatner had no idea his likeness was used for the movie until he was asked about it in an interview years later. The infamous mask is now known as the Shape Mask. In the original script and credits, the killer is referred to as the Shape. During the Salem witch trials, judges used the word shape to describe spirits of the accused that were harming others or causing mischief. The budget for Halloween was only $300,000, half of which was spent on Panavision cameras and the Panaglide camera system that provided the iconic floating point of the killer shots. The camera system allowed Carpenter to shoot many long, unbroke shots throughout the day of filming, which allowed the film to be shot in only 20 days. The budget was so small that some of the cast had to purchase their own costumes to wear at JCPenney's before filming began. Halloween would eventually gross over $47 million at the US box office, making it one of the most successful independent films at the time. John Carpenter and co-screenwriter Deborah Hill wrote the script in only 10 days. It was originally titled The Babysitter Murders, and took place over the course of several days. However, due to the small budget of the movie, they changed the script so that everything took place in one day to reduce the number of costumes and locations needed. Producer Irwin Yablans suggested that it would be more significant if the story was based around a specific holiday. Carpenter chose Halloween because it was the most perfect time for this to occur, since it was the scariest night of the year. The house used for the Myers home was abandoned during filming. It was chosen because of its rundown look. The crew didn't change anything about the house until the final days of filming. They needed the home to appear livable for the early scenes of young Michael. In 1987, despite becoming a pilgrimage spot for fans of the film, the house was scheduled to be demolished. Luckily, the home was successfully moved from its original address to 1000 Mission Street in South Pasadena. It's now deemed a historical landmark because of its age and significance in the film. The home dates to 1888 and is believed to be the oldest surviving residential home in the city. John Carpenter filmed new scenes for Halloween after its original release. The movie needed to be 2 hours long to get the best time slot for TV broadcasts. The additional scenes were filmed during the production of Halloween 2, against Carpenter's better judgment. The scenes primarily focused on Dr. Loomis, since Donald Pleasance was starring in the sequel. They included Dr. Loomis at a hearing to review Michael's time at the sanitarium, Loomis confronting young Michael in his room, Loomis discovering Michael had escaped, and Laurie asking about the strange man she keeps seeing around town. Halloween's iconic score was composed by John Carpenter in only 3 days, after a negative review from a test screening that claimed the movie wasn't as scary without music. The Halloween theme originated from a simple drumming exercise that Carpenter's father had taught him as a child, using the rare 5/4 time signature. The film credits the Bowling Green Philharmonic Orchestra for performing the soundtrack, but that's only a reference to Carpenter's hometown of Bowling Green, Kentucky. In reality, the soundtrack was almost performed entirely by Carpenter on his home piano, with Dan Wyman adding a synthesizer in later. Michael Myers was played by 6 different people throughout the hectic 20-day shooting schedule. He was primarily played by Nick Castle, but Tommy Moran portrayed Michael Myers without his infamous mask at the end of the film. Carpenter did not want Myers to be relatable to the audience. When Nick Castle asked for what Myers' motivation was in a scene, Carpenter would simply reply to walk from one set marker to another. The only real direction he gave was for a few specific head tilts. The inspiration of the character came from a tour of the psychiatric hospital that Carpenter took in college. He met a child who only stared at him with a look of evil that terrified him. That evil is Myers' motivation. There's a book that was released before the film that reveals more of the story behind Myers' rage and was written by Curtis Richards. Michael Myers was named after the European distributor of Carpenter's previous film, Assault on Precinct 13, as a strange thank you to the film's international success. Thanks, strangers, for watching. Let us know your favorite movie in the Halloween series in the comments below. Don't forget to leave us a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and smash that bell button so you never miss a video or live stream. Also, be sure to check out our side channel where we're playing horror games every single day. And as always, stay strange.